Welcome back to another video. This is Math with Mr. K, and today we are going to be covering the standard algorithm. Now, the standard algorithm that we're going to be talking about today is for multiplication, and what it is it's our old school way of just lining up a math problem and solving it that way. A lot of you guys have seen it before, um, but this is helpful for bigger numbers, and uh, it can actually be quicker than the area model or box method that we already know how to do. So for our steps, this is a lot of steps, but I promise you it's not that bad. The steps go: 1, line up our numbers by place value; 2, multiply the bottom number of the furthest right place value times the top right place value, then continue the process throughout the number; 3, after you've multiplied the number on the far right, put down a 0 below in a new line and move to the next place value to the left and multiply throughout the rest of the top number. Step 4 is repeat step 3 until you've multiplied everything, being sure to note your products down in the bottom as we go. Step 5 is add all your products together that you found. And step 6 is that your product will be the sum of what you multiplied. So I'm going to start with a simple example problem right here. We are going to do 22 times 22. And now that I've read the steps, we're going to apply it. So we've lined up our numbers by place value. Now we're going to multiply the bottom number of the furthest right times the top right place value. So 2 times 2, which is 4. I'm putting that right down here. And now, after I've multiplied that, I'm going to continue multiplying this number throughout the rest of the number. It doesn't matter however long this number goes, I'm going to stay with this place value. So I'm going to do 2 times this 2 to get another 4. Now I've completed step 2. So we're going to move to step 3, which is after we've multiplied this number on the far right, we're going to put down a 0 down here, showing that we've multiplied everything in this place value, and we're moving to the next place value. Now after we've done that, we're going to take this place value, so we have our 2 right here, and we're going to multiply that. Starting on the top right again, 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 2 times this 2, to get another 4. Now I've finished multiplying everything through this number, so I don't need to do step 4 because I've multiplied everything. So now I add my products. Remember, products are the answer to a multiplication problem, and since we multiplied for both of these, I'm going to add these together. So 4 plus 0 gives me a 4, 4 plus 4 gives me an 8, and 4 plus 0 gives me a 4. So my sum is going to be the product for this whole math problem. So I have a product of 484 as my answer. Now let's do some more examples. So for some more practice problems, we have 54 times 32. I'm going to go through this process the same way. So starting on the far right, 2 times 4, which is 8, 2 times 5, which is 10. I can still write it just like this. I am done with multiplying it by the top, so I need to put my 0, and I'm moving to the next place value. So I've got a 3 down here, so I'm going to do 3 times 4, which gives me 12. Now this is where it can be a little tricky. I'm going to put my 2 down here, and anytime I have more than a 1-digit solution, I need to remember to regroup. So I need to do plus 1 up here. So now I do 3 times 5, which is 15. But because I have this plus 1, I need to remember to do 15 plus 1 to get 16. And now I can add it all together. That's very important. And what I like to do is, if I've got a pencil, I'm going to just erase it after I move to the next number, or if if I don't have another number down here, then I may leave it. But just to avoid confusion, another thing would be crossing it out if you don't have an eraser. But I definitely recommend erasing it. But now I will add to find my product. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 6 is 7. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So I have a product of 1,728. Now we've got a little bit bigger number, but it's still just the same steps. Again, starting on the far right, 5 times 6 is 30. So I put a 0. Regroup with my 3 up here. 5 times 4, which is 20, but I need to remember to add this 3. So that's going to be 23. So I put my 3, add my 2 up here. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. Erase these across the top. Put in my 0 because I am moving to the next number. 5 times 6 is 30. So I put my 0. Regroup my plus 3. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 3 is 23. So I put down my 3. Regroup my 2. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. So that product is 7,300. I add it all together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 0 is 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. So I need to remember to regroup my 1 over here. So I have 7 plus 1 is 8. So I have a product of 8,030. Now there is one more trick to standard algorithm, and this is probably one of my favorite things and why math is so cool. So this is called the kick out the 0 trick. So this rule is basically if your number ends in 0, then I like to say you can kick it out to the side and bring it below. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So if I have 132 times 50, I'm going to rewrite it like this, but I'm going to kick out my 0. Now you will notice the 0 is not in a place value. That's because we're kicking it out. So I'm going to actually, after I've kicked it out over here, I'm going to bring it straight down. Then I like to cross it out. So then we are actually done with the 0. So for standard algorithm then, I can just actually move through and do 132 times 5. And again, this works in any number that ends in zeros and with however many zeros there are. If there's 2 zeros, I would just kick both of them out. But this is what we're doing for the 1 0 that we have. So now I'll do 5 times 2 is 10. Need to regroup my 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. 5 times 1 is 5, plus my 1 is 6. So the product is actually going to be 6,600. And that is a really quick way to do some multiplication that saves us some time, whether we'd be doing the box method or not. So now you know standard algorithm. As always, subscribe and be sure to check out the class website. If you need anything, you know how to reach me. And have a fantastic day.